The Industrial Revolution 4.0 is taking place on a global scale, creating many changes in all aspects of socio-economic life. In the context of Vietnam's economy integrating deeply into the world economy, big changes from the Industrial Revolution 4.0 will impact the Vietnamese economy in general and each enterprise in particular. This is the discussion of experts at the International Scientific Conference Developing Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises of Vietnam in the context of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 by the University of Finance and Business Administration in collaboration with the Vietnam Institute of Indian and Southwest Asian Studies, Vietnam Academy of Social Sciences, the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade India, and Miscon University, Hungary in mid-November in Hưng Yên. This is an important forum for researchers at home and abroad, the private business sector, and regulatory agencies to discuss and express their views to promote the development of small and medium-sized enterprises in the Industrial Revolution 4.0. University of Finance and Business Administration is a public higher education institution under the Ministry of Finance and is based in Hưng Yên Province. The university has a history of 45 years of development in professional training in finance and accounting, with the mission of building and developing the University of Finance and Business Administration to become a multidisciplinary and leading university in accounting, finance, business administration in the region and the world. Greetings from Sharing Vietnam on VTC10 NetViet. We're now in the fourth industrial revolution, so the training and education of human resource or the manpower for this industry is very important, and especially it is expected to boost the development of SMEs here in Vietnam, which plays an important role in the economy of Vietnam. And in today's show, we'd like to have a conversation with Dr. Laven Kovac, the Secretary General of Hungarian Banking Association. Thank you for joining our interview today. So the first question is, how do you feel for this time coming here to Vietnam and attend the international conference?
For me, this is the first time in Vietnam, and you know that at the first time we always have a first expression. And actually I find Vietnamese people very friendly. They are always smiling, so actually I have a feeling that Vietnam is a happy country, and I am sure that it is, because even the weather is always really mild, so I really find Vietnam as one of the best place, even from tourist point of view and from making friendship and so on. So actually I have only very positive impression about Vietnam.
What would you say about the organization of this international conference on the developing or supporting the SME here in Vietnam?
I realized that everybody is really excited because I arrived a little bit earlier, and I was just so positive about the audience because it looks that everybody is just waiting the presentation. Everybody looks very open for it, and actually I have a feeling that this is a very well organized, everything prepared absolutely in a fit way. So I think that this will be really good and good memory for not only those who are listening it, but who could have a chance to present here. So until now, everything went very well.
So this time you're coming here to Vietnam and talking about the role of the SME in the European Union economy. So how do you emphasize the role of the SME?
I would like to share about our experiences about SMEs. And actually I do not want just to say what's happening right now. I would like to say what is the root about the SMEs development in the European Union. So actually I will go back for 500 years, and I really would like to give a historic perspective. How are we developing the SMEs and why the SMEs are really important for the economies, not in Europe but all over the world also. In the European Union, about 99.8% of the companies are SMEs, so actually they are giving the absolute majority. And if you are looking from other point of view, the SMEs has a very important meaning to reduce the unemployment rate. Because in Europe, about 2/3 of the population who are working for a company, they are working for the SMEs. So actually, it is one of the most important part of the SMEs. If you are looking from the other point of view, the effectivity of the SMEs, they are not as strong and as good as the large companies. But this is the reason why we really have to support them, and actually all of the government all around the world, including European countries, are supporting the SMEs to be able to compete with the large corporates.
According to the report at the workshop, among Vietnamese private enterprises, 64% provided goods and services to domestic enterprises, but only 15% sold goods and services to foreign enterprises in Vietnam. 8.4% have direct exports and 7.4% have indirect exports through a third party. For example, in 2018, the localization rate of Vietnam's industrial products only reached about 33%. FDI sector has the import up to 47.1% of import from the parent company. Only about 21% of small and medium enterprises have production linkages with foreign supply chains.
Cái sự thu hút các cái chuyên gia quốc tế với các cái chuyên gia của Việt Nam trong lĩnh vực nghiên cứu về phát triển doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ đã hội tụ những cái yếu tố để chúng ta đánh giá một lần nữa vai trò, vị trí quan trọng của các doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ. Từ đó mà xem xét các cái chính sách hỗ trợ từ phía nhà nước cũng như các nỗ lực của các doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ để phát triển bản thân mình, đóng góp nhiều hơn cho phát triển kinh tế xã hội của đất nước.
In particular, small and medium-sized enterprises in Vietnam have low starting points, doing small businesses, backward scientific and technological qualifications, lack of capital, especially low quality of human resources. To promote the development of this business sector, it is necessary to improve technology capacity, train human resources in the direction of international integration.
Cuộc cách mạng công nghiệp 4.0 tác động đến tất cả các mọi vấn đề về kinh tế, xã hội, không chỉ trong các cái trường học mà cả các doanh nghiệp, các cơ quan quản lý của trung ương và địa phương. Cho nên ngay từ bây giờ chúng tôi xác định là đào tạo sinh viên khi tốt nghiệp ra trường, các em làm việc được ngay và làm việc tốt ngay. Đặc biệt là chúng tôi rất chú trọng đến sử dụng thành thạo về tin học cũng như là ngoại ngữ để mà giao tiếp tốt.
Với cái việc đào tạo của nhà trường là đào tạo theo cái hướng thực hành. Đấy, cho nên là chúng tôi cũng muốn thúc đẩy mạnh cái hợp tác quốc tế để tiếp cận những công nghệ mới ở trên thế giới, và một trong những cái hoạt động đó là chúng tôi tổ chức các hội thảo quốc tế hàng năm. Thế thì năm nay chúng tôi tổ chức hội thảo quốc tế với một cái chủ đề là phát triển các doanh nghiệp vừa và nhỏ trong cái bối cảnh công nghiệp 4.0, và nhằm để vừa nâng cao chất lượng đào tạo của nhà trường và đúng theo cái mục tiêu là đào tạo gắn với thực hành, gắn với thực tế và gắn với hội nhập quốc tế.
Là một trường và cũng là đào tạo về ngành kinh tế thì chúng tôi cũng đã áp dụng và cũng nắm bắt kịp thời. Điển hình đó là nhà trường cũng đã liên kết với một số các cái doanh nghiệp, ví dụ như doanh nghiệp của Nhật và doanh nghiệp của một số công ty của Hàn Quốc, và cũng đã có cái sự thực hành liên kết giữa hai đơn vị để đưa sinh viên cụ thể từng môn học và từng các cái chuyên ngành đến các cái doanh nghiệp để học hỏi và kinh nghiệm, mang đến lại cái thực tiễn cho sinh viên hơn, và sau này ra trường thì sinh viên sẽ dễ xin việc. Chúng tôi cũng đã đưa ra học môn như kỹ năng mềm hoặc là cái kỹ năng giao tiếp, kỹ năng phỏng vấn, rồi kỹ năng thuyết trình, rồi chúng tôi cũng mở các cái trung tâm về tin học, ngoại ngữ để đáp ứng cái yêu cầu sau này ra trường của sinh viên.
Experts said that to be able to accelerate the process of improving technology capacity and improve the capacity and the competitive position in the market, Vietnamese small and medium enterprises need to raise awareness about application of technological advances in solving enterprise difficulties and challenges and benefits from the application of technological advances in production and business. It is necessary to clearly identify the business context and conditions of the enterprise, thereby clearly identifying the position of the enterprise in the value chain and construction, choosing the orientation, objectives, and development strategies. In addition, business need to promote specialization, actively participate in global processing chains. The fourth industrial revolution is popular around the world. So, talking about the SMEs in Europe, what are the trends? Can you share with us?
If we are going back, I think in the past the situation of the SMEs was even harder than it is right now, because in the fourth industrial revolution, this is the entrance gate to the digitalization age. And actually, if you are looking forward, it looks that the new investment that is needed for the SMEs, the cost of it is much less than it was before. So actually, I really think that the digitalization era will be the SMEs era. So I really have a hope that they will enhance and they will be much more stable, and the added value will be much higher than it is right now.
It is obvious that we have to prepare the manpower for this industrial revolution. So how do you emphasize the role of education and training the manpower for this industry?
I am sure the education, because if you are going back, maybe 100 years ago, there were about half of the population of the world who was not able to read and write. And in the last decades it's definitely changed, and if you are looking for the future, I am sure there will be much more young will get a bachelor or master degree than in the past. So actually I really have a positive hope that the new generation will be much educated than any of the previous education of the humans. So if we are looking at that we will have really well-educated new generation, of course we have to decide what to teach them. And I am sure there will be some of the new era which will get a priority in it. I am sure that IT will be one part of it, and the other things that when as a banker I could say the financial literacy will have a focus, because if anyone would make an own business, they have to join to the global financial market, and it's nearly impossible if we do not teach them financial literacy. So I am sure that in the future that will be one of the key topics at the universities.
Talking about the SMEs, how to support the SMEs in the European Union. So what are the most important factors in your opinion?
All of the European government are working what would be the most effective way, how could we support the SMEs. Right now there is two responsibilities. One responsibility is for the governments. There is huge funds for SMEs development, which is sponsored by the European Union or the national government. There is the other part, which is responsible for the responsibility of the banking sector. They are providing interest rate free loans for them, and also we have a special system in European Union. It's called credit guarantee. So actually, through the credit guarantee institution, who is re-guarantee the bank loan, we are able to finance those SMEs who has not enough credit history or not enough own sources, but they have a very good idea, and I am sure that the innovation at the SMEs fields is really important, and in this case the banking sector would finance the new innovative ideas of the SMEs, which will bring a fruit for future for those SMEs who get a very good idea and who could implement it.
Yes, so thank you for joining us and for your sharings today.
Thank you very much.
And that's all we have for this episode of Sharing Vietnam Today. For comment and feedback, don't hesitate to write to us at sharingvietnam@netvietttv.net. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.